I've been wanting this sweater for a while. It was really hard to get for a minute. My mom got it for me, actually. Yeah, I love this sweater. My name is Davide. I am the COO and the co-founder here at Magenta. I do basically everything that Yaron and Dave or anybody else on the team doesn't do. I pick up the slack, I think. Now, jokes aside, I do a bunch of the technical development with Dave. It's one of my favorite parts of my job. And then I work on the compliance program and I keep the business running. So Yaron, Dave and I worked together at a company called ABL Space Systems. It was a company that made a rocket. It was a small satellite launcher, about 1 ton to low Earth orbit kind of class. So not a huge rocket, but not a model rocket by any stretch of the imagination. And so Yaron, Dave and I basically ran the software team there, and we had this internal set of software pieces that were sort of entirely homegrown. I was in charge of a software piece called SIA, which was our manufacturing execution system. And then Dave was working more on the ground software piece. So, how do you get all the data from the rocket? How do you configure the rocket to launch? And Yaron was in charge of sort of like the product aspect of that, which means that Yaron knew how manufacturing is done and he knew what needed to happen. And I said many times that my job was to take what was in Yaron's head and put it into the computer. And I feel that, like, to some extent, this is still true at Magenta. So I think it started in earnest. We sort of kept working. We kept talking. We were already sort of texting every day, but we were all very interested in AI. We were just sending each other a lot of messages every day, going hey, I tried this new thing, or hey, have you considered this? I was like, oh my God, look at what you can do. And then Yaron vibe coded a prototype of something that was very reminiscent of the system that we had there, but it was peppered with AI. And we're like, this is sort of interesting. Is there something there? I'm not sure. And then we sort of showed it to a bunch of our friends, former coworkers, friends of Yaron, sort of people in our network. And there was this one moment, it was in early 2025, where this friend was like, can I have this? This is awesome. And we were like, oh, we knew that we had something. We saw that there was potential. So we got funding and we decided, okay, we're doing this, and that's sort of how Magenta was born. There is a certain camaraderie that is built over the years that makes it extremely easy now to collaborate. That is maybe the single most important secret sauce here in Magenta. We have a lot of secret sauce, but the one that is the hardest to reproduce is how easily we talk with each other, we communicate, and once we do, we go off and do the work. We're not only trying to create a new software system, we're also trying to create a new category of product altogether. I sometimes call it a digital labor management platform. The way I see it is that our agents are going to become sort of helpers at the service of the people doing manufacturing. It's just a different type of labor. They are not like humans. Humans are good at some things, computers are good at other things. I certainly wouldn't want to run all the calculations and spreadsheets that my spreadsheet does. Computer is far better than me at that. And so similarly, I think there is a space that's opening up for these agents to do work on our behalf. And there is, to be certain, a lot of work that is just drudgery and it's just uninteresting and it's not what people went to college for, or it's not where creativity or ingenuity or real value is created. I see Magenta as being this team of agents that can do things, taking load off of you if you're an engineer, procurement specialist, or any other function in a manufacturing company. Take work off of you so you can focus on what matters.